Well, so this makes day 3 that I haven't been able to ride my bike. We got the aftermath of the Hurricane Rosa, I believe it was, in Arizona. So I live in southern Arizona, so we're under a flood watch for the last 2.5 days. I was lucky. We didn't get hit, a direct hit, like some of the outlying areas around us got hit pretty bad with hard thunderstorms, and they flooded out real bad. We were lucky. They were offering us sandbags, but we don't really need them. We didn't get hit that hard, and it's supposed to clear out tonight. So we got about 6 more hours to go. The last time I looked out there, it looked like it was starting to break up already. I saw some blue out there. So anyway, I'm at the 86 mile mark. I'm gonna put another 20 miles on it just to be on the safe side. But it looks like we're gonna make that 100 mile mark without any problems. Since the 55 mile mark, when I fixed the keyway problem, 2 separate keyways with a bushing to hold it all together, I haven't had any problems. I did, however, have to readjust the chain a little bit since then, but no big deal. It wasn't anything that was out of the ordinary. I think we can honestly say that this works well enough and has enough reliability that if we took it to phase 2, we could even make it better and more reliable. So we're going to be discussing phase 2 in this video. Phase 2. 3 most important things that we want to accomplish in phase 2 is, first up, number 1, replacing the motor plate with a metal plate and get rid of. Now, there's a reason why they make string instruments out of wood, is because they renown sound a lot clearer than anything else. And as you can hear, this is going to carry a lot of noise, and it does. So we're going to eliminate that, and we're going to make it more solid at the same time. The next most important thing to get accomplished is welding up the frame so it won't flex under throttle from a dead stop. And while at the same time designing this idea, trying to incorporate side storage on each, providing side storage on each side, and also providing a top piece that runs like so around for a future canopy rear post. So if we approach this properly, we can achieve a couple things at the same time: reinforcing the frame, providing storage area for future baskets that you can remove or put in, a mounting frame on the back that's going to be solid enough to build a future back post that'll come up on the back to a canopy and come over and mount to the bars. This way we can eliminate it being mounted to the seat, which means I'll have to make my own cover up, which is not a big deal. I used to work in drapery and upholstery, so we can make up the cover for it. We just got to build the frame. But that's like phase 3, but we can prep it in phase 2. So that's number 2. That's most important. So number 1 is the plate, the motor plate. We're going to use a 3/8 inch thick aluminum plate. This is a 3/8 inch. I think this is a 1/2 inch thick, so it's a little bit thinner than this, not much. We're going to, what we were planning on doing is we're going to weld up unfortunately we're going to have to weld to the axle housing. And we're going to weld up a piece here, and then we're going to put a 90, let me leave it there, let me see if we're going to weld it, flush weld it, and then we're going to have it come up in the angle it's supposed to go into, and then we're going to put another piece from here, and then come across, so it'll be an L. And we'll do the same thing on this side. Another L. Like so. Then we're going to take these existing bars here and we're going to extend them out and weld them onto that L on both sides. And then once we have that welded in place, we're going to take some of this 3/4 inch bar right here, and we're gonna, just gonna be here, so we're gonna weld it to the outside of this, straight in line with the brake shoe. So the strap, it'll basically will come up, it's gonna come up, and I'm gonna have them bend them and have them come up like this, so they'll be kind of rounded right here on both sides, on this side and on this side, and flush weld it there. That way I can make this into like a little trunk, and I could put little aluminum like a 1/8 inch, 1/16 inch aluminum sheet, cut little slots in it for cooling, cover up the motor, cover up the ugliness. And then we can build a platform here. This will be metal, and we can build wood on the outside for any kind of thing we want to mount on each side here. Now, this will give it 5 points of connection to the main frame, because right now part of the problem is there's only one connection point, and that's this point here, and it's causing the whole frame to flex downward. Under load it flexes about a 1/2 inch, and it makes the chain pop and it overstretches the chain, so we don't eliminate that. So this way we'll have a connection point here on the axle housing. We'll have another connection here on the axle housing support bar for the upper frame and seat, and then we'll have another one here and another one here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and the bolt on is 5. That should be sufficient enough to keep this thing from flexing. So if we build it right and incorporate right, then we'll also have the mounting base for our canopy project. Those are the 2 most important things. The third most important thing for me to try to get done on phase 2 is the tires. We're going to go with a wider tire, such as like on my Rad Rover, except for these are on 26, or supposed to be 26 inch, but they're really like 29s. But anyway, these are 4-inch wide tires on 4-inch wide rims. And what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put 4-inch rims on here for 24-inch tires. So we're leaving the same size tire. We're just going to make it wider all the way around. So basically you can take 2 of these tires and put them next to each other. Now how is that done? Well, it's actually fairly simple. What they do is they find a rim. I found some myself, so my bicycle shop isn't going to have a problem finding them, because I'm going to let my bicycle shop do the whole thing. What they do is they take off all the spokes, they despoke it, they get a new rim that has the same number of spokes, which I believe this is a 32 spoke, I think it's a 22 inch for a 24 inch tire. I think it's a 22 inch rim, or a 21, something like that, maybe a 21 inch. I forgot, I haven't measured. But anyway, the bicycle shop figured out they'll order the rims. The rims I'm ordering are going to be chrome. And then what they'll do is when they get the new rims, they'll re-spoke these hubs to their wider rim. And I may have them order me tires. Maybe they can show me some tires, because I'm having problems finding tires, you know, other than, you know, I don't really want to run knobbies on the 4-inch. I'd rather run a nice little street tire. But man, they're hard to find tires for a 4-inch wide, 24-inch rim. It's just, there's just not that many of them. So tire selection is very difficult for this size tire. So I'm going to show you one I found. It's not exactly what I wanted, but it'd be a good tire for around here, sort of. Okay, so that is the next most important thing for me, because of the fact that it rides hard, and I think getting a tire that holds a minimum pressure of 15 to 18 pounds and a maximum of 30, I could run them around 18 pounds on all the way around on this thing and get a much more comfortable ride. These are hard tires. Minimum pressure 40 pounds, maximum pressure 65 pounds. It's hard as a rock, and it rides hard as a rock, but good grip. I think a wider tire is going to make it look more badass, pardon my language, but truthfully I think it's going to make it look much cooler. I think it's going to give me a little bit more better handling on the steering. I think it's going to give me better braking, you know, shorter braking distance, a smoother ride. I think there's a lot of benefits to doing that. So these are the most important 3 things that I like to address on phase 2, along with some other things that are not as important, but they will certainly follow suit after we get these 3 issues addressed. I'll kind of share with you on the computer some of the things I've ordered. I'll give you kind of idea. I ordered a chain guard that's going to fit. It's going to go on backwards, so the bigger sprocket part will be over here. It's going to mount on this. There's a bolt right there, so the bracket will mount onto that hole on the motor. And then we'll mount it up underneath here, and then we'll just cut it, because it's 16 inches. And we may have to cut the bottom part a little bit. So we'll have to, manipulate it a little bit to make it work. But it's a chrome cruiser type chain guard. It's pretty cool looking. I think it's going to look really good right there. I ordered a lithium 12-volt battery. I got that on order. I ordered the charger for it. I also ordered there's a holder for the battery. I ordered that too. That's made out of aluminum. It's well made, so it's going to hold it correctly, so I don't have to make with that. Then once I get the battery, I can kind of start figuring that out too. And I have lights for it, and there's some things we're going to be doing to it to enlighten the bike, and also to enhance the bike, as well as improve the bike from frame flexing and making it ready for other things that we can do later on down the road. So that's what we have in mind for phase 2. So hold on your horses. We're about to begin another new future, or a new adventure rather. What I have in mind is I'm gonna finish my 20 plus miles on this, so that I can get in touch. I've been looking at mobile welders that are also fabricators. So they're mobile fabricator welders. Now there's quite a few of them around in Casa Grande, because we have a lot of farms around here, and apparently they need, someone that can come over and fix something that broke on a piece of farm equipment or something. They can weld it up or fabricate something to make it work. So there's quite a few of them. So I'm going to call them up and get to sync them up with jack stands, give them a call, have them come out, give them the rundown of what I like to do to it. And my main question for them is not just how much it's going to cost, but what do I need to do to prep the bike. Is it wise for me to pull the axles so that when you're doing the welding you don't warp the axles? I don't know. I'm not a welder. He'll have to tell me what I need to move. I know I'm going to need to move the motor. I know there's certain things, but there's other things that he may want me to take off. And that's fine. I can do that. So then that way he can give me an estimate, and then I can prep the bike. Once I get the bike prepped, then I can call him and he can schedule to come by and do it, weld it up. Okay, I figured I'd get an earlier start today, but they didn't lift the flood watch until like 4 o'clock this afternoon, and it's going on about 5:20 right now. So I'm heading out. I'll just do a little 4-mile run here. Check my mirrors. Adjustment, looks pretty good. Okay, give a little bit of a rolling start here, and then we'll just gradually bring in the throttle here. And off we go. Well, I'm gonna tilt you up a little bit here. I'm hoping that's about right. I'll tilt you up just a little bit more. There we go. Well, we were pretty lucky. We didn't get hit too hard. But some counties, a few counties over got hit really bad. A lot of flooding. You know, water has nowhere to go here. So there's one field here that always floods. And I'm gonna go by and see how it did. It was still kind of flooded the last time, from the last time. 16 miles an hour. It just really likes to cruise at 16 miles an hour. Now, the sidewalk mode, this is where I like to have that throttle down on here. And I can steer with the spinner knob. So, you can see I'm pedaling. Now I'll just gradually bring in the throttle. We'll cruise around 9-10 miles an hour. This is what I was talking about, how hard it is on the bumps. It's really hard. And I think those wider, soft tires will smoothen that out quite a bit. It's our turn. Back on the throttle. And amazingly, with this last storm we had, we were expecting a lot of wind, and we got very little wind at all, just in the beginning. But after the front of the storm came through, and the storm that was following with it, there was hardly any wind at all. Just rain, a lot of heavy rain. Now, this is the field right up here that usually floods and turns into a lake when it rains real hard. So I can generally tell by looking at this. Ow, ow, stickers, ow, stickers, ow, ow, stickers, ow, stickers, ow, ow, stickers, ow, stickers. Making a right hand turn. Yeah, generally this turns into a whole lake all the way out. So all the way up to the dirt road up here. And past it. There's a little dirt road off to the left here. And it's about the same as it was the last time I was here before we had the rain. If anything, a little bit less. So we were real lucky. Just higher speeds. Now we got sun in our eyes for the rest of the way. And see, I had to use my hand. You know, I want to get this thumb throttle taken care of. I don't like where I put it. I had a feeling I was going to have to do it this way on here. And that way it'll be here. And all I got to do is pull on it this way. Then push on it with my index finger. I mean, it works. "18 miles an hour, it seems just zing right along without putting too much amperage in the motor, you know what I mean? 17, 18. Now we'll just open it up. Oh, we got a lot of standing water here. I don't want to be going through that. Oh no. I don't have my wires covered up yet on my terminal block. Short out the whole system. Holy crap. A lot of water there. No cars. We're good. They are. You're going to have to slam on the brakes. Now generally we have standing water down here too. But like I said, we didn't get hit that hard in my neighborhood. And this is my neighborhood right here. Hey, usually there's a whole lot of standing water right here by that gutter. It's running really, really, really good. But you hear that noise when I let off? That's the wood making all that noise. That's the chain you hear. But that is the wood you're hearing. That's that wood making that noise right there. You get a certain vibration in it and it just wants to sing like a violin. Okay, this will be a 4-mile run. Well, 3. Alright. I'm just going to park right here. And set it. Well, I got over 100 miles on it now. About 110. So I've done about 55 miles without any problems whatsoever. The only real problem I had with the bike was just that keyway walking out, and that was my self-inflicted wound because I didn't realize there's 2 opposing forces here on the brake and the chain and causing it to walk out. So we haven't had any problems, so that's solved. I'm very pleased with that, and I'm very pleased with the way the bike's been working. So I'm gonna pretty much end this video at this point. I'll pick it up again when we get the welder here. Hopefully he won't mind me videotaping our little conversation. And anyway, I'll update on that. I plan on calling the welder probably start next week. Today's Friday, so I'll probably call one up on Monday and try to get one out here next week. Get this thing welded up. Can't wait to get that all welded up the way I want it. It's gonna look really cool when I get it done. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll update again when the welder gets here, hopefully.